2, 1. Continuing on in this entertaining world of ours.
Well, I didn't think of that, but I guess it makes sense. Then you have a lot of faith in our file. That's good, isn't it? Right. So we have the vessel now, so we can bring her back. It's all going according to plan.
And that is why I am accompanying you. To see that the plan does not fail at all. We will not get any other chances than this.
Are you doing this on your own volition, or are you under the orders of somebody else then?
She'll look across at Cypher and go, I have not received orders in a...
You cannot then, dude.
I'm assuming that was, I have not received orders in a very long time.
Yep.
You cut out at the same word.
She said, I've not received orders in a very long time.
Okay.
I guessed it. Woohoo! DM power.
You guessed it. You wrote that story.
No, he wrote most of it. I just approved it.
Okay, well, yeah, it brings me great comfort to know that someone who is such a believer of Earthfell is with us and helping. I'm sure everything will go fine now.
It
Famous last words.
Yeah, I think that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. Find out more about Earthfell.
Awesome. That's cool. Did anyone else want to ask anything of anybody? Have any conversations at all? In which case we will do them now. Otherwise I will jump you forwards.
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Awesome. In which case I will jump you forwards. Remember to include, probably in the group chat or in here somewhere if you wanted to add any proficiencies to anything while you are doing your 2 weeks of travelling. It's going to be mostly on foot and camping. Apart from when you get to the ship, and then you're going to be back walking through Trevis to get to Rog. But 2 weeks later, you do manage to arrive back outside the capital. It's got bigger, there's more people camping and staying, and you have to pick your way through all these people, a lot of whom are forging weaponry, practicing. There's a lot of training going on. There's a lot of people who are being trained up in combat, a lot of people firing arrows, practicing magic, various different things. You guys get there, and I'm assuming you're going to head straight back from where you came last time when you had needles with you.
Sad times.
Yeah, I mean, unless we have a better plan, a better way to go. Anyone has better ideas?
Well, we're supposed to hand in this demon to the worshippers, right?
Not hand in. We are escorting her.
I was going to say, both Molyar and the head boy take offence at that.
I believe we are escorting the vessel.
I have a name, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Molly, isn't it? You're right. Okay, Errol, seriously. Errol, you need to remember, we are escorting the vessel. Don't be an idiot.
No, but nothing's at stake for me, so I'm just tagging along to fulfill my promise, which is delivering the vessel to the cultists.
They're not cultists, they're worshippers of Earthfell.
A fallen god, there's no proof of whose existence is even real.
Her cleric is right here in front of you. She is proof of Earthel's existence, just as are symbols of and my power as a warlock.
As far as I've seen it, all she's claimed is be Earthel's cleric. She might wear the crest, but that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah. Cypher is in his head just simply saying fucking cleric. Fucking cultists.
Right, but I have a connection to Earthel, and that's the real thing. I know it's real. How should we prove it to you then?
Having a voice in your head does not mean that's exactly who you think it is.
It's not just a voice in the head.
Then what is it?
Well, you've heard of John as well, who serves Earthel. I've met him as well.
You have met this dead god that she's explicitly explained cannot be back on this plane of existence.
No, servant of that god. John.
So again, you've met someone who claims to serve a god?
Well, who has given boons to god, magical artifacts, and I've received my power from Earthel. It's the real thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a warlock.
Oh, snap.
Again, these claims have no grounds to support. The pixie does not believe.
I think at this point, Molia will turn to you, Errol.
Yeah.
And she'll say, I have always had my doubts too. I think it is fun. It is more interesting to go through life with doubt. You can either be proved correct or learn something. Just be open to learning something. Don't be completely closed-minded. By the end of today, I could be something even greater than myself. And that's saying something, as far as I'm aware. And
But
if it is
that-
not real, then, well, we had an experience, didn't we?
That's why I'm willing to tag along and hand you into the cultists. It's just that I'm not going to give them more value than being cultists until they're proven.
Indithiel will slowly approach the pixie and go, you're aware of the differences between the magic given by the divine and arcane, are you not?
Yes.
And then without a blink, she's going to use a spell.
Oh.
So she's going to use cantrip guidance on you. So you'll wind up with a 1d4 bonus to an ability check of your choice until the spell ends.
I'm liking that.
Do you believe?
And then she's going to put her face right in front of your,
Wait, so in front of my body, or?
like, almost nose to nose with the pixie.
Yeah, that's in front of my entire body then.
Yep. And then she'll just give you a very, very cold smile and go, I am a priestess of Earthel, a cleric of hers. If you cannot take me at my word, what do you believe in?
Right now? Not much here. Have you seen these people? If that's the best a god can muster to get help, then I don't know if that's even worth believing in.
We use the tools we have.
Yeah, but
And
if
she's
you-
going to look specifically at Kesson and go, great as you wish.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Can you
Even if they're not as great as you.
Okay, look, needles was a mistake, but we found a better vessel now.
That's going in the quote of the day.
Wow.
Savage!
Can we make Needles was a mistake the title of the episode, please?
Yeah.
At that, she'll raise her eyebrow and go, and how many other mistakes have there been in your party so far?
There's Bothwell for one.
Cypher at that point going to literally chuckle out loud, like a good fucking snigger to himself.
Well, we got rid of that sword by getting rid of Pug, who basically left. But we got rid of the sword, so that one mistake gone.
Then there's Cass, which is the other mistake.
Can you actually insight whether there is actually more that have died from the party?
Well,
Oh, God.
technically.
Oh! Cass has actually forgotten, so you can insight her if you want.
Yeah, Kes cared that little that she's forgotten he's dead. Arissa will just be sniffing in the background at this point. He's gone.
That'll be
Magic.
17 insight. Anyway.
Hashtag RIP.
17 insight on Kes.
Yeah, on whether that's truly like the actual number of that have
Kes, did you just
MIA.
say? Kes, did you just say what?
No.
She's only
She named two.
She's mentioned Pug being gone and Needles as the mistakes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
as the things that lost.
Yeah, I'm not sure that...
She believes it's true from your insight. She believes it's true. Whether it is or not is entirely a different matter, but Kes believes it to be true.
Ilithiel will frown, but that'll be enough. I believe we've kept everyone waiting long enough.
Well, you know, we have to do something. Travel. Yeah. Let's just travel more.
Well,
Indeed.
you guys, rest in pieces, Vatican Noodles. You guys press onwards and you come to the centre of what is now, for the sake of argument, the capital. You guys find a larger group of the Earthel cultists than you remember from last time. They seem to have added more to their number since. They look around at you excitedly at your return, and several of them move forwards to greet you. Enna recognises and greets her friend, which is the large gem creature. It's made of gemstones.
Oh yeah, it was Rocky.
He couldn't talk. He had to use like sign language and grunts and stuff. So he can have the name Rocky, I suppose. Okay.
Suddenly silence.
You guys are pulled forwards and inspected and brought before the sort of cult leader type people who say to you,
Cult leader, see?
Is it done? Is this the vessel we heard so much about?
Oh yeah, she is certainly the vessel that you need. I mean, look at her. Isn't she the perfect vessel? Maybe you can demonstrate something, Molly. Wow, Molly.
Moliar.
Molly.
She looks around, but at a lot of encouragement and like, yeah, come on, show us some power by the cultist. She sort of closes her eyes and clenches her fists and lets out a sort of like blast of energy that she manages to halt just before it touches anyone, and then pull it all back in again. The cultists sort of nod. They don't exactly cheer, they're not that kind of people, but they sort of nod impressively and sort of mumble to each other, and you can sort of see, you can see a lot
Miserable
of,
shit.
you can see a lot of them. Yes, it's good work. Yes. Well, come, sit. The ritual. Let's get it ready. Let's get the ritual ready. And you're invited to come and just sit down with them while. Hey, I have called them cultists the whole time. That doesn't mean anything.
So wait, can we partake in the ritual with you? Can we help you?
Of course, we're going to need you. That was pretty much a given. In order to get the items you have been promised by Urfel, then you're going to need to help considerably for that.
About that,
Yes, small one.
I already have what I was promised by Urfel, and I don't really think it's ethical to clone one's fiancé.
There is always more than what you think you want.
Okay. that means that I'm getting a definite reward, so I'm okay with it.
Now then, come sit. They're going to prepare the ritual for us. The ritual is going to take them a few hours to prepare. They're going into excruciating detail this time. They're getting every second of it right. They're drawing things on the ground. They've got runes and symbols. Could you all do a perception check for me?
17 for me.
Perception. That one.
Perception is plus 1 plus 7, so that would be 18 this time.
Okay. In which case, all of you, well done. All of you, as they move around past you, you hear them mentioning that they wish they had their book. So they are doing this ritual from memory. Again, you hear hints of that. She's been forgotten. We're trying our best, but like even this, things are disappearing from their memory over time. So this ritual.
Oh!
Let's guess in character during the preparations for the ritual.
Yeah. So Cass kind of gets her dark book out that she hasn't really shown anyone else. And see.
I remember it. I wins back.
And she asks, so do any of you know anything about this book that I've picked up?
Are you just gonna hold it out and show them?
Yeah.
Okay. Literally every single cultist has like their mouths on the floor. Where did you find that? We've been searching for years. Where did you find that?
It was under the roof. It was a long time ago. I'm not quite sure.
It was in the ruins under the city.
It was under our feet this whole time?
I guess so.
They are looking pissed.
You clearly haven't looked it up. I mean, this clearly shows who is the chosen one by Urfa, right?
Do you even care about your goddess?
Oh, is that out loud?
Yes.
Oh, Errol. One of them is going to...
Errol. That's just too much. No, it's just me that...
3 of them stand up and point their hands towards you, Errol, and they say, "You will hush. We are trying to remember everything we can for our goddess. One more word and we will all silence you and you will not speak for a week."
Oh man.
Please do it.
Out of character, I'm leaving this choice up to the dice. Anything above a 10 means silence.
To be honest, we wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was in character. Cypher said that.
15, so that means silence.
Does that mean you're not speaking?
Yes.
Okay. They lower their hands, and Kess, you are surrounded by a gaggle of these people who've been doing the ritual, and they say, "May we please have it? This could save the ritual. This could work. This could make it happen. We will give it you back. You clearly deserve it. If you found it, then it's chosen you. But please, can we read through it to do the ritual?"
Yes, of course. But I want to read through it as well with you. Let's do it together.
Very well. So, Kess, you are taken off, and it will be a few hours that you are going to spend with these guys preparing this ritual. Everybody else, you're going to be asked to be involved when it's happening, but you don't have to help them set it up.
Rosie, can we now read the book?
You can, with the help of these guys, you can read the book. Yes.
Ah, yay!
A lot of it has been blackened. Like when you go to read a file, but you're not allowed to read all of it, and it has blacked out sections. That has happened to a lot of the book, but it has magically happened. Like this book has been, some magic has been used against the book to try and stop people from reading it. But bits and pieces managed to get through, including the ritual page, which is mostly untouched, mostly because it hasn't got a lot of writing on it. It's mostly symbols and diagrams, so it seemed to escape the magic that was protecting you from reading it. It seems to be information on Earthfell and how to communicate with her, how to serve her, and various different things like that. But it's quite hard to read at the moment because it's got so much blacked out of it.
Oh, Rosie, I just had thought. So the other things that we found under the city there, one of them was the mirror, right?
Yes.
So if I show the mirror and to the followers and ask them about it, if they recognize it at all, because I'm thinking I kind of wonder if there is someone logged inside, someone really important, because it's a mirror that can trap people inside it, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I want to show it to the follower and ask about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or if there's any mention of it in the book.
There's no mention of it in the book. A couple of them say that they've heard of such an item before. One of the magic users spends a moment casting his hand over it, and he says, "If there is anyone in there, they're not of importance."
Okay, that's good. Okay, so at least Earthfell is not locked in there or anything like that.
Oh, that'll be a twist Kess has been carrying around this whole time.
I know. That's why I wanted to check it.
Check everything. Check your pockets. Everyone turn out your pockets. It could be a deity.
Just in case.
Yeah. So, in which case, Kess, you'll spend a few hours with these guys preparing the ritual properly. And for the first time in a long time, you're probably feeling quite excited. Maybe not to the extent that someone like Arissa or Enna would feel excitement, but it's definitely bubbling for you. And it's quite... After all the stuff and after hearing what happened to your family and things, it's quite a pleasant feeling just to have this and think, this might be doing something. Hey, no, don't dirtify it. It's her deity, man.
Oh my.
It's a deity that deserves like a higher respect of dirtifying.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen her servant, Sajalan? So...
He's pretty fine. He's pretty fine. You have both met him, by the way. So Indy and Kess, as you were having your conversation, you have both met Sajalin. Kess, can I just ask, Kess, would you have gone into any sort of description of Sajalin when you mentioned him?
For Indofel, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, in which case, Indy, you can decide whether or not you share this with Kess, but when you have met Sajalin, he looked completely different.
He looked blank.
Yeah, you cut out there.
Oh, he looks completely different to how Kess
Okay.
describes him.
So how so? How did he look?
Well, when you met him, he was a sort of great dragonborn, like tall
Yeah.
and handsome and dark, with a little bit of blood spattered here and there. Instead, when you met him, Indy, he was a tall and very beautiful, like half elven, but most like 3/4 elven male. And he had sort of deep red robes and red eyes.
Is she aware of him appearing differently to anyone else?
Do a religion check.
Can do.
Ooh, but it's hard to remember. Right?
No, it is when you roll a fucking 2. What's my pluses for religion?
Well, it's not necessarily a fake servant.
Oh, fuck, right. That was on this
we're
character
just
too.
sticking with fake for servant.
So that's a not natural 1.
Wow, your religion, my friend.
And that's
It's really hard to remember. It's really hard to remember.
To be fair, it is really hard to remember. When you and Kess work out that you've met supposedly the same person but looking different, it doesn't surprise you. Like, somewhere in your heart and your mind, it doesn't surprise you, but you can't remember hearing of anyone else meeting him.
She won't mention anything at that point.
There we go.
Is Amos behaving himself, Belgarath?
Yes, he is.
Oh. Hello, Amos. We hear you.
He's a good doggo boy.
Oh, I found a spot.
Okay, so
That feel good, boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
okay, so you guys, while Cass is off starting this ritual and sorting it out, you guys are you can sit, you can have some food and sit around the campfire with these members of the cultists. They start to have a conversation and they introduce you to 2 new people who have apparently just arrived. One of them is a tall, dark, long-haired man with dark robes. He looks quite stealthy, but his robes are quite impressive. They're quite well-off robes, so he looks like he might have been some sort of spy, if you had to have a guess, something like that. And he is sat next to a quite young 15-year-old boy. And he has sort of darkish hair and pale skin and dark eyes. And he is introduced to you as Prince Edwade, the ex-Prince of Borsin.
The ex-Prince of Travis, or?
The ex-Prince of Borsin, the human realm. He is a human.
Would he recognize Cypher?
Explain to me why, again?
Is this the one that killed his dad?
Yes.
Yeah, I was there in the courtroom.
In which case, he may recognize you. I will roll for it. He was a little distracted with other things that day.
Okay.
Well, he rolled a 7, so I'm gonna go no. But Cypher, you recognize him.
Okay.
Okay. Are you doing anything with this information, Cypher, or?
No, I'm just retaining it.
Okay. So he is talking with you guys, and he says, actually, you might be just the group that we might need. I have heard rumours, and piecing it together with some of the information I have come across, I think we may need a adventuring party, an adventuring alliance, as it were. If you would be up for the challenge, there would be rewards in it for you, of course, and we wouldn't send you off until after the ritual is complete and hopefully successful. Would this be of interest to you?
Yeah, Cypher's eyes are just gonna narrow on him.
What are you offering? Any good quest has a good reward.
What do you want? I'm sure I can provide.
Well, what would I think stuff that helps us become stronger would be a good idea.
My father was a foolish man who tried to dabble in things that he did not understand. I, however, have made connections and managed to salvage some of his work and turn it into something better. I can
What exactly
grant...
did you salvage?
He pulls out from his pocket, it looks like, a small jar. And it is full of a black, gooey liquid that has swirls of colour in it and sparkles and splashes of red.
Is that what
Indiathiel-
I think it is?
Indiathiel will study it as well, since she's obviously not familiar with it.
Sure. You can do an Arcana check if you would like.
Yeah,
great.
I'll do that.
Marginally better, but yeah.
Also, Ariel, this jar would be big enough to fit you in it. However, it is currently full of this stuff. So it's up to you how annoyed you are about that.
I am still pretty annoyed because it is a jar.
Being held by a human.
That doesn't make it any better. I am fairly tempted to stab him for taking out a jar.
Okay. Indy, with your 12, something inside the jar is quite highly magical. But you can also sense it's a little chaotic. With a 26 for Cypher, did you go with them underneath Laylee and through the black market?
Cypher was not there.
Cypher was not there, but he got briefed on it completely by Kel.
In which case, to the best of your knowledge, this matches the description of the black stuff that was destroying Laylee underneath the city.
I'm simply I've got to straight up and say to them, is that the exact same substance as that collapsed the city?
Well, no, not exactly the same. It's been improved upon. I am not collapsing cities. I am empowering people, making it better. Everything my father should have done, but was too foolish to be able to do and comprehend. He was far too focused on other things.
Okay.
Not to sound rude, but what would a child know of these things?
I have had many years to study and learn whatever I like. Being third in line means essentially I have no duties, nothing to worry about. I can do as I please. I don't have to go to training every day, and Father doesn't rely upon me to learn and study and look up to him, so I can learn whatever I like. I chose to learn about power, how to get it, how to grant it, how to give it to those who
I'm back. What a mess.
Hi! So, you've been introduced to Prince Edwade, who is the ex-prince of the country Borsin. It seems that Cypher recognises him. When he has asked you guys if you would be willing to go on a quest after the vessel has been completed, because he is needing an adventurers alliance to go and do something for him. He hasn't told you what yet, but Ariel has asked if there is any, if there's any reward in it, and he has said, "What do you want?" And when asked, "What can you give us what we want?" he produced a jar which had a black magical substance in it, and he is claiming that his father, the King of Borsin, was trying to do something with this substance but failing, but he has managed to unlock an ability to give people powers through it.
Oh.
I'm good, quite honestly. I think I'll personally leave that one.
So Cass is not there, right?
No.
He doesn't say anything.
I mean, you can hear them if you like, because you're quite close by.
Nah, I'm busy with the rich.
Yes, it's concentrating! He says, "Well, whether you take the payment or not, there is still things that need to be done, and you're probably the best group to do it. If you can think of anything else I can offer you, I can give you something as pitiful as gold if you like."
Since my companions seem to not be curious enough to ask, what is the task that you are asking?
I have been piecing together slowly, and so have the rest of this organisation, that there are those who are standing in our way. They believe the lies and the rumours from years ago. They believe that Urfel is evil and bad news and cannot be trusted to right the world and all of its wrongdoings. And they have discovered our secret, and they are going out of their way to destroy it, one piece at a time. We need to send you to a couple of locations to make sure that what we have hidden there is still hidden and protected. Is the pixie laughing?
This is not in character, sorry. I laughed at the realization at what you're doing here.
That's okay. And
This is so good.
Cass, do you want to read that aloud for everybody?
This is the quest to fight the Tuesday party. Smiley face.
That's why I was laughing as well, because it definitely is.
No comment.
What do you know of these troublesome group of adventurers?
I know nothing particularly of them personally, and I hold nothing against them. It is the nature of the curse upon our goddess that she is to be forgotten, and as such her legacy can become whatever those who distrust her wish it to be. We find ourselves at odds with a group of fallen angels. They were cast out of their holiness and seek to cause havoc on the plains, and they have decided Mercer is ripe for the picking. So they are influencing this group to pull together pieces of an item that we had destroyed, which was used to banish our Urfel all those years ago. They wish.
Oh, we can't have that.
Can I ask, Rosie? You said that this guy knows Cypher. How is Cypher looking at it?
He doesn't recognise
Directly.
Cypher. Cypher, how are you looking at him?
I'm looking directly in his eyes. You can tell that Cypher knows him.
Belgar,
Right, but is there a look of...
do you want to do an insight check for that?
Yeah, can do.
You'll probably get a more accurate reading on an insight check.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. Alright, what is my insight? I don't think I've ever
In the
used insight.
meantime, Indithiel's actually going to.
Oh,
say-
sweet. 21 on insight.
And what
Okay.
of the Guardians?
Cypher, just tell Belgrath exactly what is written over your face right now.
Contemplation of either killing him and chopping the head off of one of the figureheads of this cult, or let it pan out and see if you can figure out more what's going on.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to kind of sidle over to Cypher and just give him a nudge and just indicate that that later I'd like to have a chat.
Okay.
Indithiel's also going to ask the pair of them, and what of the Guardians of those items you're referring to? They were never left unguarded.
Unfortunately, we have not been able to guard all of them successfully. We sent them off into the world, into the scattered corners of the world, hoping it would be enough. Unfortunately, it seems they have been discovered. The one that was hidden with my father has been taken.
And how are they being traced?
By the rebel angels and whatever magic they have given to the group of fools. Whoever's foolish enough to believe someone who has fallen from heaven deserves it, to be honest.
Who is this fallen angel that... Oh, wait, I'm not there.
Again, Cass, if you like, you can be overhearing them. You're not too far away.
But I need to concentrate on the ritual.
This is true, Cass. Oh, torn priorities. For example, we have learned that the one we sent across the seas, we never found out what became of it. The member who went to hide it never returned and was never heard from again. This could mean that it's harder to trace. It could mean it's already been found. We have no way of knowing except for sending people after them.
And that has not been done already?
Well, unfortunately, I have spent the last few weeks making my way carefully up here from the now desecrated remains of my home. I passed on this information as quickly as I could. But I'm afraid they are still ahead of us.
She'll step back and just be quietly thinking.
Yes? Oh, I've lost sound.
Oh, I can hear
I've
you.
lost sound as well.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I think everyone just sort of blanked for a second then. My thing didn't blip. Hello! Everyone's still
I think
there?
we're changing location.
Woo! So, you guys have just had a lot of information handed to you. Would you guys now like to accept this task once the ritual is complete. You can accept it for free, for fun. You can accept it for payment of gold or something else you can think of. He is saying that he can provide pretty much, he's asking you, what would you like?
I'll take the reward he's offered of more power.
Okay.
I could do with some gold to get back to, I could do with some gold. So as long as travel expenses are paid up front.
Oh yeah, that as well, of course.
When Tess learns that they are threatening Airfall, we can't have that. I will definitely report. And power as well.
Cypher's just gonna quickly glance over at Kess and then go back to the prince.
Okay, so Balgarath, you wanted gold.
Oh, I will decide that.
Right. One sec, I'm just going to write down
Not
everyone
very well.
wants. So Balgarath, you wanted gold.
Inside of.
Errol, you wanted the power. Kaz, what would you like in return for doing this? He's basically offering you, what do you want? Do you want power? Do you want gold?
I mean, power is always nice. Yeah, that's always.
There's always a place for power. There's always a use for power. You are included in this as well, Cypher and Indy, if you would like anything.
Indy will approach and very, very quietly whisper location and basically say she wants armed soldiers sent there to defend.
It can be done. And you? And he looks at you, Cypher.
There's nothing you can give me that I'd be interested in.
Now.
Nout.
Well, Cypher, are you accepting the quest or not?
He's not gonna answer you.
It doesn't seem like Cypher is on our side that solidly.
I imagine we can count on him for the time being.
He's gonna give you a little grin and look down at you, Balgarath.
Pum pum pum.
Actually, that is a good point to pause because I've got the end of this recording. We'll be back.